News 25 is brought to you by Bees Embroidery and Garment Printing, specializing in custom and personalized decoration of gifts, garments, and more. Call 775-727-9444. News is also brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson.
A Las Vegas woman is arrested for fraud, and deputies are led on another high-speed pursuit. News 25 starts now.
This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell. News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
A mom defrauds local police, fire, and the general public. It's Wednesday, January 29th. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. Well, a mother of two takes advantage of some holiday kindness. 31-year-old Las Vegas resident Tiffany DeArmond has been arrested by the Nye County Sheriff's Office. Police say on January 17th, deputies received a report of fraud. The reporting party, they say, claimed that Tiffany DeArmond made public claims that her juvenile child had been diagnosed with leukemia and solicited donations under false pretense. The Nye County Sheriff's Office says that Tiffany allegedly started a GoFundMe campaign to financially support the child's treatment and medical bills, although the diagnosis, they say, is false. The campaign raised over $500. It was determined that the child is healthy and has never been diagnosed with leukemia. Further, police say it was identified that Tiffany told the Nye County Sheriff's Office chaplain that the child was diagnosed with leukemia and also solicited donations from them. DeArmond accepted donations from the Nye County Sheriff's Office and Pahrump Valley Fire and Rescue based on these false claims. In fact, News 25 was invited by the Nye County Sheriff's Office to cover the charitable donations made by police and fire. The children were given lots of gifts at the time, as well as Tiffany herself. The family was treated to a holiday meal that was donated and a tour of police and fire vehicles. We spoke to Tiffany DeArmond at the time. Law enforcement officers say as part of the investigation, Tiffany provided text messages to deputies that allegedly showed that the GoFundMe page was originated by another person. However, investigators identified that those messages appeared to be forged. There were no records, according to police, that the child was receiving any treatments or being under the care of any physician at the alleged hospital. News 25 was also contacted by the father of this child, who said that his child does not have leukemia and that Tiffany herself is facing several charges in Las Vegas for burglary at this time. Tiffany DeArmond was arrested and booked into the Nye County Sheriff's Office Detention Center. She is being charged with obtaining money under false pretense, false written statement to obtain property or credit, false report of a crime, and other false written evidence. Well, a Pahrump woman is under arrest and facing several misdemeanor charges, including DUI, after fleeing from officers on Monday.
Christy Finnegan is in the Nye County Detention Center facing several charges, including DUI, failure to yield at a stop sign, unsafe passing, and reckless driving. According to the arrest report, a Nye County deputy first observed Finnegan driving at a high rate of speed north on Leslie Street near Wilson Road. The officer says while traveling nearly 90 miles per hour, Finnegan continued to pull away from his vehicle as they approached Basin Avenue. According to police, Finnegan went around a stopped vehicle at Basin before finally pulling into Coyote Corner at the corner of Leslie and Irene. After approaching Finnegan, the arresting officer says he could smell alcohol on her breath. She said she had consumed 2 to 3 drinks. The arrest report indicates Finnegan failed a series of standardized field sobriety tests. She was then placed into custody and taken to jail. Police say Finnegan was read the evidentiary testing warning and that she consented to a blood draw to determine her blood alcohol level.
Thanks so much, Brad. Well, today, the Southern Nevada Health District reported the first person under investigation in Nevada for the 2019 novel coronavirus. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention will be testing samples from that person who has been identified. Currently, Nevada has no confirmed cases of that novel coronavirus. As announced by the Southern Nevada Health District, the patient is in isolation and being monitored in a local hospital. The Nevada Department of Health and Human Services continues to work closely with partners in the local health authorities, providing support if needed and sharing information on this quickly changing public health concern. While this novel coronavirus may be causing concern, it is important to remember that there are only 5 confirmed cases in the United States, and all of those cases had traveled to Wuhan, China. Currently, the virus is not spreading in the United States. Early detection of the cases, prompt application of case isolation, and timely quarantining contacts, in addition to practicing proper hygiene, will help us control this outbreak. Seasonal influenza or flu continues to circulate throughout Nevada. It's not too late to get a flu shot. The flu vaccine is still available for residents and Nevadans. They are encouraged to contact their healthcare providers for more information. Patients with confirmed 2019 novel coronavirus infection have reportedly had a mild to severe respiratory illness with symptoms of fever, cough, shortness of breath, headache, runny nose, and sore throat. To prevent the spread of this flu and viruses, wash your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth with unwashed hands. Avoid close contact with those who are sick. Stay home when you are sick, and clean and disinfect frequently touched objects and surfaces. Well, in the wake of the coronavirus outbreak, a major U.S. airline is cutting back on the number of flights to and from China. Angela Miles has that story and more in today's Business News.
Here's Angela Miles with today's Business First Brief.
Topping our news, United Airlines is scaling down on flights to China because of the coronavirus. United Airlines offers more service to China than any other U.S. carrier. The airline is dealing with a noticeable drop in demand and will suspend dozens of flights to China February 1st. New orders for big-ticket items such as aircraft, refrigerators, and washing machines dropped the most in months. Orders for durable goods fell 0.9% in December. Kobe Bryant merchandise has sold out at Nike. According to Forbes, Nike is evaluating the release that was supposed to happen February 7th for Kobe 5 Pro Tro sneakers. Turning to earnings, Apple crushed Wall Street's expectations on iPhone sales. Apple made $56 billion in revenue just selling iPhones during the latest quarter.
To find out where you can see us every day, go to businessfirstam.com.
We'll tell you about last night's police pursuit after the break.
You're watching KPVM News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Welcome back. Well, a male rider of an off-road vehicle was arrested yesterday following a police pursuit. An adult male was taken into custody last night following a police pursuit. According to reports, the off-road vehicle fled from police behind Smith's off Highway 160, crossing the highway and then going behind businesses, eventually ending up on East Street near the Chief Tacopah Cemetery before it went across Highway 372, traveling down Bourbon Street and ending up on Marnie Court. That's when police say that the ATV ended up in a garage at a residence on Marnie. Officers with guns drawn surrounded the home just off Highway 372. Deputies were able to take that individual into custody for warrants, felony eluding, and a possible stolen vehicle. This morning, the charges came through for Brian Williams for conspiracy to elude, driving with a suspended driver's license, no proof of insurance, failure to maintain travel lanes, reckless driving, and removing or altering a vehicle identification number. The off-road vehicle was impounded by police at the scene. Well, Fire Chief Scott Lewis says that they transported one person from a crash yesterday afternoon.
Yesterday afternoon, we were dispatched at a 4100 block of Elvira for a 2-vehicle accident. It was determined early on that it was an injury accident, so our medics arrived on location. They assessed 2 patients. 1 patient was transported to the local hospital.
And here's Unette with today's court report.
In this week's court report, a Pahrump man just found guilty of 2 counts of burglary in district court and who has an open justice court case with the charge of failure of convicted sex offender to register with law enforcement agency out of state might soon be designated a habitual criminal by the district attorney's office, which could increase his sentence. Christopher Zachary Salcido currently faces up to 1 to 10 years in prison for each count of that residential burglary penalty. District Attorney Chris Arabia says, "We are pleased with this verdict because people have a right to feel safe in their homes, and a burglar violates that right." Judge Kim Wonker is scheduled to sentence Salcido March 20th. Another multiple offender, Virgil Sparks, has formal charges against him still pending in justice court after being arrested again in December following driving his kids through a brick wall. The formal arraignment that was scheduled for Sparks was vacated, and the defendant was released for reasons not specified publicly by the court. During Sparks' first appearance in justice court, Sparks was also arrested on a warrant that was issued for another case and on a probation violation. The defendant was appointed public defender attorney Nathan Gent to represent him, and Sparks' bail was set at more than $36,000 cash or bond for this case and $1,600 cash only for another case. The high school teacher arrested for what is said to be an attempted sexual relationship with a student remains out on $5,000 active bond that he posted before his first appearance. Meanwhile, formal charges against William Paul Spangler are still pending in justice court. Spangler is accused of committing that act back in November. Spangler's previously scheduled arraignment hearing has been vacated, and he now has a follow-up scheduled February 21st. Robert Ferris, the man who resisted arrest and dragged a motorcycle officer with a stolen car, now has a preliminary hearing set for February 5th. During Ferris's pretrial, his public defender, attorney Nathan Gent, said he was unable to meet with the defendant to review the case file or talk to the state about negotiations due to a trial schedule conflict. So the court confirmed Ferris's preliminary hearing date, then the defendant was remanded back to custody. Ferris is facing the formal charges of attempted murder with a deadly weapon, offense involving stolen vehicle, battery with use of a deadly weapon, assault on an officer, eluding peace officer with endangerment to persons or property, trafficking of Schedule I controlled substance, and possession of controlled substance for sale. This has been your court report. I'm Unette Gentry for News 25.
Thank you, Unette. More news right after this.
This segment of the news is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyers, Nye County's injury attorneys. Don't get bullied by insurance companies. Call Jason Ernest and bully them back at 775-727-9500.
Well, if your teen received a new device for the holidays, you might want to hear this. Recent research shows that teens spend time on the screen. They often turn to energy drinks and sodas to quench their thirst. Cleveland Clinic's Dr. Susan Albers did not take part in the study, but says that these drinks are notoriously high in sugar and caffeine.
They found that for every hour that teens were on their screen, their risk increased by 32% of exceeding the sugar limit and exceeded the risk by 28% of the caffeine intake.
The study looks at survey data from U.S. students in 8th through 10th grade from 2013 to 2016. Researchers found while the total number of sodas and energy drinks consumed went down during this time period, when teens had more screen time, especially TV time, consumption went up. Dr. Albers says when teens increase screen time and sugar intake, it can wreak havoc on their sleep schedule. And when their sleep schedule is out of whack, it impacts mood, appetite, and the ability to function. Dr. Albers says parents should have a plan to monitor screen time in addition to what their children are eating and drinking. Even a small reduction in screen time can have positive health benefits.
You don't have to tell your teen to go cold turkey on their screens, but reducing by just 1 hour their screen time can have huge benefits to their sleep patterns, to their weight, to their health, and to their mood.
Experts recommend teens consume less than 25 grams of added sugars each day. A 12-ounce can of soda can have as many as 40 grams of added sugar, and some energy drinks have 60 to 80 grams of added sugar.
Well, former town board member Amy Riches lost her son unexpectedly on January 10th. Brian Cates passed away suddenly from a heart attack. Amy does not have the money needed to pay for Brian's burial expenses, and we're asking the community if they would like to help this mom pay for her son's funeral. KPVM-TV just happened to interview Brian during our Question of the Day news segment at Walmart 8 days before he died. Brian told us in the upcoming new year that his hope was for a better job and a girl that really loves him. And that was that video that we just showed you. Any donation should be made to the Pahrump Valley Mortuary at 5441 South Vicky Ann Road here in Pahrump. And the zip code is 89048, or you can give them a call, 775-727-4099. Well, Darby joins us today with a beautiful dog looking for a family to call his own.
Today's Save a Pet is proudly sponsored by Jason Ernest with Mountain West Lawyers. Call 775-727-9500.
Hi, I'm Darby here at Desert Haven Animal Society, and today we are joined with Blaze. Blaze is a 2-year-old Labrador mix. He's mainly all black. He does have the typical Labrador markings where he has a white chest and a little bit of white detailing on his paws. Blaze is a little insecure. He's definitely a dog that you want to bring out to the yard for about 15 minutes, let him calm down and warm up to you. We noticed that when we did get down on his level and actually sit down on the ground with him, he warmed up a lot. He was actually we were going to give him love and affection. He's a really sweet dog, but you just got to give him the opportunity for him to warm up to you. So come and see him and all of his friends here at Desert Haven Animal Society. They're on Seary Lane behind the Nye County Courthouse. You can give them a call at 775-751-7020. You can always look them up on their Facebook page at Desert Haven Animal Society.
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Well, let's take a look out on that weather cam and see what we have going on. The weather bug, there's Pahrump Valley High School and some clouds there up there on Mount Charleston earlier today. And of course, we got to look at the Las Vegas Valley there on the weather bug. We'll see what we have in store coming up after this break.
News 25 Weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hello and welcome back to News 25. I'm Michael Donohue with today's weather. In Las Vegas, we had a high of 63 degrees, a low of 44. Death Valley at 75, their low at 48 degrees. 62-36 in Amargosa, 54-32 in Beatty, 46 degrees for the high in Goldfield, 44 in Tonopah, both towns with a low of 24 degrees. 47, a low of 33 in Carson City, 50th, a low of 30 in Fallon, and up in Fernley, 49 degrees, their low is 35 degrees. Now today in Pahrump, we saw mostly sunny skies and some winds. Our high today was 60 degrees. The winds coming out of the north at 26 miles per hour. I'm sure you felt that when you got outside today. Our humidity is 22%, and our sunrise was at 6:47 this morning. Now for tonight, we're going to see some mostly clear skies. Our low is going to be 36 degrees. It's 55 outside currently. Winds coming out of the northeast at 12 miles per hour, 37% humidity, and our sunset at 5:07 tonight. Now looking ahead to our 7-day, we are going to see a lot of sunny skies, just some sprinkling of clouds throughout the week on Friday, Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday. Also on Sunday, we're going to see some high winds up to 16 miles per hour, 19 miles per hour on Monday, and then down a little bit to 11 mile per hour winds on Tuesday. Temperature-wise, on Thursday and Friday, we're going to be seeing our highs at 66 and 65 degrees, up into those low 70s on Saturday and Sunday at 70 and 71 degrees, a high of 49 on Monday, and then 52 and 59 on Tuesday and Wednesday. For overnights on Thursday, we're going to be seeing a low of 39 degrees, up into those 40s on Friday and Saturday at 42 and 45. And then back around those 30-degree temperatures for our lows Sunday through Wednesday, just between 30 and 39 degrees for our lows through that stretch of the week. So with that, we're going to toss it back to the desk with Deanna.
All right, well, we are having a food drive this Saturday from 9 to 1 in front of Walmart here in Pahrump on Highway 160. This is to help veterans and children in our community. It is sponsored by KPVM-TV and Ace Country Radio and, of course, Quality Signs. So once again, come out there to help the VFW Food Bank and the Food for Thought program. We'll be standing in front asking for any kind of non-perishable food items or even cash you can donate to either one of these organizations. That's going to wrap up this edition of News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. Good night.